Hi everyone, comic book reviewer here. This time doing another Halloween film review, and this one is on The House That Jack Built. Now, as you know, The House That Jack Built was meant to be a 2018 physical horror film, which of course was written and directed by Lars von Trier, which also stars Matt Dillon in the role of Jack, who is obviously meant to be this failed architect as well as kind of this starting point to being a serial killer. And the point of the film is meant to show Jack re-encountering with a figure that he implies to idolize, known as Virgil, who was meant to be a Roman poet, and it's heavily implied that there's more truths about Virgil than there actually is. And the whole point of the film's starting point is showing to the start of Jack's first kill, him getting the thrill of it, as well as becoming more and more craftier, manipulative, and showing how he's a bit more craftier with his killings. A lot of the time, he's a bit more careful about not getting himself caught, and does find ways to improve his style of it. And the film makes it clear that over the course of the film, each killing is a lot different. Like obviously Jack killing a embracive woman with a broken like Jack, and it's heavily implied throughout the film that obviously each killing, each style is meant to be a different message to how Jack sees things. Like, obviously, when he sees how the first woman is calling out all the things about Jack being a killer, is him basically having that in his mind, how he has that urge to basically kill or maim people who he thinks annoys him. Another one is the woman Claire, obviously showing that because of his OCD and being too careful kind of almost gets him caught. It's a perfect message about not being too careful, and a lot of the time improving yourself can actually show that you want to be careful. And the third one showing how Jack views his girlfriend and her two sons is how Jack views a mother and two children, similar to how I think one child can view things from the family a lot differently. And another one with Jack in a dysfunctional relationship with a woman known as Jacqueline, how he easily manipulates, tricks her, as well as being emotionally abusive, showing how Jack kind of plays this whole emotional card on him. And throughout the film, it shows you how Jack views things differently, while Virgil kind of voices disgust, contempt, as well as being a bit more realistic throughout the film. And it's heavily implied throughout the film that Virgil is meant to be the demon Lucifer, who is not only sent by Satan to check on the ones more corrupted, but seeing if they're worth saving. And you can kind of get this sense that throughout the film, Jack is meant to improve himself as a serial killer. He understands the consequences of his OCD. He sees that he has to be a lot more careful now and seeing a bit more, trying to take a bit more less risks, but making sure to kind of not get too perfect, and also not to be too careful now. And I think what I give the film credit is also showing near the end of the film, where we do get the sense that when they reach the pit, which is obviously meant to be the Inferno, which is hell, throughout the film it also shows you how Virgil shows obviously Jack the things around hell, like obviously showing these kind of farmers from his childhood wheating the grass, as well as, yeah, when they kind of see the broken bridge. It shows you Jack kind of obviously wants to see the stairway on the other side. And rather than stopping him, Virgil kind of lets him do what he needs to do. And it's heavily implied that Lucifer knows his job is done and leaves him for basically Satan's work to take on Jack down below to be punished for his crimes. And I think the film does a good job showing how Obviously, glimpses of Jack's past, how he kind of slowly got worse, and showing how a lot of the time people can get easily corrupted. They slowly have that urge to become something far worse, or just too far gone to be helped. It's one of those films that I think you need to pay full attention to and make up your mind to where the film needs to tell you. I think it's one of those films that's obviously meant to be a bit more graphical with the violence, despite the criticisms, and that's the point. It's meant to show you that there are people like Jack who just don't care who they hurt and abuse, as long as they view and see the things around them as playthings. And it shows you throughout the film, Jack is crafty with his artwork. He's more crafty on building that perfect house that he knows is never going to happen. It shows you pretty much how there are people like Jack who are more like perfectionists. They want that perfect thing. They want that perfect life. They want this perfect everything, but that's never going to happen. So I think to me, the house that Jack built is a slow film, but it knows what it needs to do, taking place during the late 70s into the 80s, to show you that over time, Jack becoming craftier, more manipulative, and slowly building up his own downfall that leads to him basically of to eventually leading to his own downfall. So it definitely deserves thumbs in the middle. Kind of alright, kind of okay, but still an enjoyable film. So, comic book reviewer here, signing out.